recorded server. Please email me to say they watch it, and I'll mark you present. The attendance should be running now, and you should be able to sign in. I want to just give you a preview of the next few days of where we're headed. We are now on class 13. Today, especially because attendance is low, I don't want to cover the new stuff. I want to do Marinholtz and want to review the stuff we did last class. I will save the contingent and vested remainders for Monday. And I'll probably start executory interests on Monday, and I'll finish them on Tuesday when I scheduled our makeup class. That's, again, Tuesday at 3:15. I'll also use that for reviewing for the midterm. Your midterm's on Wednesday, Wednesday the 10th. We're not doing blind grading. We're not doing the exam software, the monitoring stuff. None of that. We're not doing any of that. What I'll do is before the exam, I know you have a class after this, so maybe you're on. I'll just say call it 10 o'clock. I'll email you the file. It'll be one of my old exams. I'm going to want you to type an answer in Word and just send me a Word document, and we'll just do it like that. I think that will be the easiest way to make this work. You'll be on your own for time. I won't monitor. I won't proctor it. And then my goal, which I may or may not succeed on, is to try and grade over spring break. And if you send me a Word document, I can actually, put comments. Say, you missed this and you got this right, and you got 8 out of 10 here and 7 out of 10 there. And I'll give you your numerical score rather than your letter score, which I think will give you a lot more feedback. Because what's a B? Oh, we got 42 out of 50. That's pretty good. Oh, you got 25 out of 50. That's not so good, right? So you can make your own judgments. Okay, makes sense. Questions before we get started? Yes, so go ahead. I see hand from Luis.
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a question about like specifically class. I'm trying to join on the attendance, but it keeps giving me an error code. Can I just email you that I was present?
You can. A number of you were able to sign in. I'm looking at the attendance.
No, I think it's something to do with my internet connection, but it makes no sense.
It might not be you because the polling actually wasn't working well earlier in this class. Maybe try it on your browser instead of your smartphone.
That's what I do. I use my browser because it's supposed to be more reliable.
Do you have the app on your phone?
I don't, but I can download it.
Yeah, if you can't get up at the end of class, that's fine. But 12 of the 13 will sign in, so I think it's actually just you.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
That's okay, Luis. All right. I want to start by going through our table. Again, I put in the class notes. Over the weekend, if you have 20 minutes, I would encourage you to try to fill in this table from memory. Not looking at notes, just from memory. And if you're not able to fill it in from memory, then you're not ready for this topic yet. You need to be able to know these columns backwards and forwards. Because as we see from the Marinholtz case, sometimes you might know the future interest, but you might not know the present interest. You have to sort of figure out which ones match up. All right. No one's here. This is bad. All right. Who is roughly next? I can't quite figure it out. But who is approximately next? I'll just do the best I can. Andy, that's you? All right, Andy. Yeah. All right. So, Andy, let's just start filling this, and you get the easy one because you go first, okay? What is the duration of a fee simple, my friend?
Forever.
Okay, it lasts forever. Good. And what are the words used to convey a fee simple?
Fee simple to A and its heirs.
Good. To A and its heirs. Good. What is the future interest that follows the fee simple?
The future interest.
Or say it differently, who has the future interest following a fee simple?
Okay, so I would assume it would be to A and its heirs.
Well, A has the present interest, so it would have the future interest.
Okay, so his heirs would have the future interest.
Okay, so that's right. I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. We say that A's heirs have the future interest, but Andy, is A required to leave Blackacre to his heirs?
No.
Can you give it to anyone else?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. So thank you, Andy. So we say A's heirs is sort of like a shorthand, but that's not always the case. Keep in mind that with a fee simple, you can leave it to whoever you want. Okay. David, you here? No, David. Alyssa, no, she said she's not here. Javon, you here? Oh boy. Joseph. Oh man. Odalis. Michael. Emma. Lacey.
I'm here.
Oh my God. I was going to go 10 names in a row. All right.
Made it all the way to the F's.
I know. I went from B to F in one jump. That's really bad. Okay. Help me out here with life estate. What is the duration of a life estate here?
For the person's life, whoever transfers it.
I'll say A's life. Make it easier for us.
A's life.
Good. Now, what are the words used to convey a life estate?
To A for life.
Okay, to A for life. We can start there. If I write the A for life, what is the future interest there?
Well, it's just A to life with a period. It would go back to O.
What do you call that future interest?
A reversion.
In? Who has it?
Simple.
Okay, good. So
Right.
just put it all together. What's the future
Okay,
interest
so-
here?
O would have a reversion in fee simple
Excellent. How do you know it's reversion there, Lacey?
because there's a period and there's nobody coming after it. Like it doesn't specify who it
You're
goes
right.
to after
So
A's life.
what's the definition I gave you of reversion?
Okay. It is a I have it written down now. I should have it memorized. I can't believe I can't remember that. I know a remainder goes to a third party, but now reversion is totally slipping my mind.
Who's O in this case? What's O's title?
O is the grantor.
Okay, so try it now. What's the definition of reversion?
The interest that goes to the grantor after a life estate.
Okay, very good. Okay, thank you, Lacey. All right, very good.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. The definition of reversion, for now at least, it might change later, but for now at least, it's the future interest after life estate that goes back to the grantor. And here owes the grantor. Okay. All right, Lacey, just finish up the row. What's the other type of life estate we've talked about, the other type of conveyance that might be useful here?
To A for life, then to B and his heirs.
Okay, so if to A for life, comma, then to B and his heirs. Okay, good. What is the future interest in this one?
That would be, B would have a remainder in fee simple.
Okay, and how do you know B has remainder in fee simple?
Because it's the future interest after to a third party after a life estate.
I would just flip it. It's a future interest after a life estate that goes to a third party. You said it correctly. I would just rearrange the words in your sentence. So it's a future interest after a life estate that goes to a third party. Good? Okay, good. All right, thank you, Lacey. Excellent. All right. There are two types of future interest after life estate we've studied so far, the reversion and the remainder. In the reading for today, you find that it's not even that simple. There are two types of remainders. There's vested remainder and contingent remainders. I am not going to add those to our chart yet because it's going to make the chart incomprehensible, right? This chart looks kind of neat and clean now. It gets very ugly. So I'm going to do those two topics on Monday. I don't have time today. All right. All right, let's go down the list. Sandra? Victor?
Here.
Oh, that was good. That's only two people.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. All right, Victor, help us out here. You're up for the fee simple determinable row. And again, you may think that I'm picking on you, but like this is for your benefit. You guys are gonna get some very good attention today. You know, you're gonna learn this stuff well. So, Victor, help me out here, sir. What is the duration of a fee simple determinable?
It's durational, so it can terminate.
Well, what is durational? Give me some examples of durational words.
While, during, until, so long as.
Okay, so while, oops, wrong box. While, during, so long as, until. Okay. Give me an example involving schools. There, Victor, of a fee simple determinable.
Okay. From O to school, comma.
Good. You said the comma. I'm glad you said that. Good.
So long as Blackacre, and I don't know.
Is used for school purposes. How about that?
Yes.
Not
That
sued. School purposes. Do I put a period here? Do I stop?
Yes. Put a period.
Okay. I put a period there. I did exactly what you said. Put a comma. Put a period. I'm your scribe. All right.
Sure.
Victor, help us out here, sir. What is the future interest that follows this present interest? What is the future interest that follows this present interest?
The reverter and
Oh boy, it's not a reverter, my friend. You're close. You're close, but that's not right. What do you call the future interest that follows the fee simple determinable?
there is possibility of reverter.
Who has future interest here?
Oh,
Okay, so again, what do we call O's future interest?
it's a fee simple.
What does O have? What's his future interest called? You said it. You said it.
Reversion.
No, what's a reversion?
Reversion is when there is the future interest after life estate. That goes back to.
Do we have a life estate here?
No.
What do we have here? What's the present interest? You said it. What's the present interest here?
Fee simple.
What kind of fee simple?
Reverter and fee simple.
You are totally confusing yourself. What is the first row in this column? The first column. What row? Are you...
Determinable.
Okay, let's try it again. What is the present interest?
Fee simple determinable.
Okay. What is a future interest that follows a fee simple determinable? Do you have your notes from Wednesday? That'd be a good idea to look at it. This chart is not new. We did this chart on Wednesday. Oh, wait. We got no one here today.
Yeah. I completed the chart, but I put possibility of reverter and fee simple.
Is that the answer?
No, I put O has possibility of reverter and fee simple.
Is that the answer here?
Yes.
Okay, so try it again. What is O's future interest here?
O's future interest is O has a possibility of reverter and fee simple.
Okay, why is it a possibility of reverter and fee simple? That's the right answer.
Because it depends on.
Wrong. Always, Victor. What is a future interest that follows a fee simple determinable?
Is it automatic?
No, you're reading the next row in your notes. There's pairs, right? We have pairings. What is a future interest that always follows a fee simple determinable?
The reverter?
No. You need to rewatch class from Wednesday. You didn't get class from Wednesday. This is very obvious to me. All right, let me explain it. We have pairs, right? We have pairings. When you have a present interest that's a fee simple determinable, the future interest will always be a possibility reverter. Those are pairs. They come together. Okay? Don't try to break down the words possibly reverse. Well, it's a possibility it might revert. Don't do that. You're going to drive yourself nuts. That's what Victor was about to do, right? He was trying to use his reasoning skills. Like, oh, well, possibly reverted. That means it might possibly revert. It's a fixed term. Don't even care what it means, right? All right. The future interest that follows a fee simple determinable will always be a possibly reverter. Okay? All right, now Victor, just back to you. What happens the minute Blackacre is not used for school purposes? What happens at that instant?
It is the interest is conveyed.
What does that mean?
So Blackacre has the interest.
I don't know what you mean. What happens if a school district builds a factory on Blackacre? What happens to Blackacre?
And the interest reverts back to O.
Okay, you're right. Just don't say reverts. Just use what goes back to.
Okay, goes back to.
Does O need to do anything to get Blackacre back?
No.
Okay, is it automatic?
Yes.
Okay. Last question for you. What interest does O have after a factory is built on Blackacre?
A fee simple.
Absolutely. Perfect. Why is it fee simple?
Because he still has the interest went back to him.
But why is it fee simple?
Because it goes back to him.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be fee simple. Why is it fee simple?
Because he has like absolute, he has a whole bundle of 6.
That's it. There you go. Okay, you're done. Thank you, Victor. We got there. Okay, good. And it took a while. I tell you, when you have only 11 people, you're going to get your hand called on for a bit. Quinny, just 1 minute. Let me explain for a bit. When we're dealing with the fee simple determinable, the word determine is like the word terminate, right? Just the word term is in there, right? Determine means to terminate. When the school breaches the condition, or I shouldn't say condition, when the school puts up a factory, right? They breach the terms of the deed. It's automatic. O gets his fee simple. O does not need to take any legal action to get his fee simple. Now, as a practical matter, let me just make this point very clear, right? As a practical matter, O has to go to court, right? Because O has to move to evict the school, right? You go to court and you ask to quiet title, and you ask to evict the tenant. The school. But the date on which O received his fee simple was a date on which the deed was violated. Okay, Quinny, go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, so how you had possibility of reverter and fee simple. So that's just like the more correct answer. Like possibility of reverter isn't necessarily wrong. It's just in fee simple. It makes it
yes.
more complete.
It's possible to have a possibility reverter that's not in fee simple.
Okay,
it's rare, but it's theoretically possible.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, thank you, Quinny. Okay. Question so far. Oh, Dallas, are you here? I think I called in you and I jumped over you, went all the way to F.
Yes, I am here now.
Okay, good. Glad you're here now. Okay. All right, you get the next row then. Poor Lacey had to go all the way from B to F. So the next row is yours, and we're going all the way through it. So we have the fee simple subject to condition subsequent. Okay?
Mhm.
What is the duration of the fee simple subject to condition subsequent?
Duration is...
What kind of words are we looking for here?
Oh, okay, the kind of words that we're looking for here are conditional words, such as while, during, so long as.
No.
Until.
No.
Oh, wait. Is it? Oh, God, I wrote that in the wrong box. Hold
You're in
on.
the wrong row, my friend.
Yes, okay. Let me scroll back up. subject to condition. I know that we are supposed to put the condition on the back end of the conveyance.
I'm just asking, what are the words we use for conditional grants? What kind of words we're looking for?
Words such as, but if, provided, however.
Okay. Well, Dallas, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
What is a condition subsequent?
Okay. Condition subsequent is a fee simple. Well, would it be best?
Forget fee simple. Pretend you never came to property class. What does the word subsequent mean?
Pretend I haven't taken a property. Subsequent.
Subsequent. Just what's that word mean in English language?
Like there's a if something happens.
What is the opposite of subsequent?
Giving me the wrong answers. Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. My brain is foggy. I had to look it up. So the condition of subsequent is following. So I'm assuming not something that is not coming in the future.
What's the opposite of after?
Before.
Before. Okay. Subsequent means after.
Mm-hmm.
Precedent means before. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be dealing in this class with two kinds of conditions. Conditions precedent and condition subsequent. Oh, Dallas, what's a condition subsequent?
So, for example...
I don't want to talk about property. Just in general, what's a condition subsequent?
What comes after? Something that you expect to receive.
What's the example I gave in class on Wednesday, the condition subsequent? I'll give you an easy example.
Okay, so...
Involved in allowance.
Oh. I can't remember.
Is it in your notes?
Because the condition comes after the grant of the fee simple. And you take legal action to reentry. I guess not. A common law conclusion.
All right, Dallas. Let's try this. Let's try this again. Let's say I tell my daughter, if you, I tell my daughter, I'll give your allowance, but if I find out you're not doing the dishes, you have to give me the allowance money back. Is that a condition precedent or a condition subsequent?
So the way you said, I will give you an allowance, comma, but if I find out that you are not doing the dishes, then you have to give me it back. So that is, it's subsequent because it's after the fact.
Okay, now I tell my daughter, if you do the dishes, I'll give you your allowance. What do we got there? If you do the dishes?
That's also, that's also the condition. She has to do the dishes.
Is it a condition subsequent?
I think it is.
Does she get the money before or after she does the dishes?
She said, if you do the dishes, I will give you your allowance.
Yeah.
Yes, she gets the money after she does the dishes.
So does the condition come before or after the grant of the property, the money?
After.
No.
Okay, before.
Why?
I don't know.
Come on, Dallas. It's not. I'm telling you. If you do the dishes, I'll give you the money. Where's the condition? Is it
before? It's before that I'll give you the money.
Right. So is it a condition subsequent?
Is getting the money a condition? Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me. If you do the dishes, comma, I will give you the money.
Does a condition come before or after she gets the money?
Before.
So what do you call it?
A condition subsequent.
What do you call that?
Would that be the fee simple determinable?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, I didn't get very much sleep last night.
Oh, okay. All right, I'll move on. It's a condition precedent, right? The condition comes before the grant of the money. All right. Yeah, I didn't get much sleep either last night. My daughter's not quite washing dishes yet, but she does like being awake at 3 a.m. She'll be washing dishes soon enough, and she'll be taking advantage. Like, Daddy, the condition comes after. To give my money first. Condition subsequent, right? All right. I called on Victor. Garrity here. David, I think you're here. Yes. Okay, David, help me fill in this row. Excuse me. Give me an example of a condition subsequent, how it would be phrased. A fee simple subject condition subsequent.
So it'd be, an example would be from O to the school, but if Blackacre,
Yeah.
for residential purposes.
Okay, I'll just tweak a little bit. If Blackacre is not used for school purposes, how about that? That work?
Not used for school purposes.
Okay. Comma.
O may re-enter.
I'll say O is a right of entry, but same thing. Okay. All right. So from school, I missed the first part. I'm sorry. To A. Sorry, you said that sorry, now I'm getting mixed up. From O to A. No, it's school. It's school. From O to school, but if Blackacre is not used for school purposes, O is right of entry. That's what you said, right? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Where is the condition here in the sentence, David?
It's after the conveyance of Blackacre to the school.
How do you know that?
Because of the durational words.
These are not durational words.
Or conditional words, sorry.
Where do the conditional words appear?
Right after school. So, but
Not after school, it's after the what punctuation?
The comma.
Okay, this is a very important point. David, if I just had from O to school, period, what would that be? From O to school, period. What would I have?
A fee simple.
Okay. Is it a fee simple absolute? If it just said from O to A, period. From O to school, period. Would that be a fee simple absolute?
I don't think so, because there's nothing that's retaining it for the school in the future.
Generally, if I say from O to A, period, what do I have?
A fee simple absolute.
Okay, let's try it again. So if I had from O to school, period, what would I have?
A fee simple absolute.
Okay, but is this an absolute here?
No.
So it's from O to school, comma, but if. What kind of fee simple do I have?
A fee simple subject to condition subsequent.
And why is a condition subsequent, not a condition precedent?
Because the conditional words are after.
Yes, after the comma. This is the easier one, right? It's a fee simple subject to condition subsequent. So it says from O to school. Oh, that's a fee simple, comma, but if. The but if comes after the conveyance of a fee simple. This is like the example with my daughter and the chore, right? I'll give your allowance, comma, but if you don't do the dishes, I get the allowance money back, right? The condition comes afterwards. You're going to need to distinguish conditions precedent from conditions subsequent when we do vested remainders, right? This is a condition subsequent. Do not confuse a condition subsequent with a condition precedent. And it's grammar, right? From O to school, comma, but if. Everyone see that? All right, so David, finish up the row. What is the future interest that matches up with the fee simple subject to condition subsequent? What's our pairing?
The right of entry.
Okay, and who has right of entry?
O.
Okay, is it fee simple?
If O re-enters, yes, it would merge back into a fee simple.
Okay. Another question for you, David. OS right of entry in fee simple. Let's say, on January 1st, they build a factory, so it's not being used for school purposes. Does O get a fee simple on that date right away?
No.
What must O do to get a fee simple?
Take some sort of legal action to.
Yes, exactly. Right. He's got to go to court, file suit to quiet title, and ask the court to declare who owns the property. This is important. With the fee simple determinable, this row, it's automatic. As soon as the deed is violated, O would get a fee simple. But with the fee simple subject to condition subsequent, it's not automatic. O has to go to court. And eventually he might get a fee simple, but he needs to take legal proceedings first. All right. Thanks, David. I think you're done. All right. Adalis, are you able to see this? And I'm sorry if I lost my temper a little bit, just it was getting a little frustrating with that. And I apologize. I think I lost my cool, so I'm sorry. I have to be careful, and I have to try not to do that. So I'm sorry. Does this row make sense for you, Adalis?
Yeah, it's fine. You have to have thick skin for these things, so it's okay.
I know, and being a professor is hard because you sometimes you want to lose your temper, and you have to try to not, because it's, we're all human here. All right. Yeah, I was up till probably 3:30 last night. It was a late one. All right, Lacey, go ahead.
This may be because you talked about condition precedent. So this may be something I don't even need to ask right now. Where'd you go? There you are.
Yeah.
But how would that even work? If you convey the land to someone, comma.
I'll show you later. I'll show you later how it works. I'll do it actually on Monday.
Okay.
I promise.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do it. Yeah, you'll see the condition precedent, but the subsequent ones are easier because it's after the comma. When the condition comes after the comma, you have a condition subsequent. That's just an easy trick you can use. All right. All right. I'm going to skip the last row because we'll do that on Monday, maybe even Wednesday. I'm not sure. The executory interests are more complicated, but just know in your chart here. Under life estate, we're going to split these in half because there are going to be two types of remainders. So it gets even messier. All right. Let's go do some questions. We have a lot of questions today, people. Let's do question number 1 on the chart. Let's see, is my thing working? The polling software wasn't working in the last class. Hope it works here. All right, question number 1. O conveys Blackacre to A and her heirs. But if Blackacre is used for any purpose other than agriculture, then O has the right to re-enter and take possession of the land. What interest does A have? All right. I think got just about everyone. All righty. I think Catherine's not here. Taylor L., I think you're here.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, good. Good to see you. All right. What is your answer here?
I said fee simple subject to condition subsequent.
Okay. How do you know it's a fee simple subject to condition subsequent?
So A and her heirs have a fee simple, but then after the comma, there's the but if. So that's a condition following the fee simple conveyance.
Good. And then what's the future interest that matches with it?
O has a right of re-entry.
Okay. Very good. Thank you so much, Taylor. Perfect. All right. You need to look at all those various clues. You start with the fee simple, to A and his heirs, or her heirs, comma. There's not a period, comma. So you know it's a different type of a fee simple. Is it a fee simple determinable or a fee simple subject to condition subsequent? The phrase "but if" after the comma tells you the condition comes after the grant of the fee simple. After means subsequent. Therefore, you have a fee simple subject to condition subsequent. You also have a question that says, "Oh, it's right of entry." That's the dead giveaway, right? I won't always give you the future interest. This one's easy to start you guys off. But like in Marinholtz, it's not clear what you have. Maybe I'll give you the future interest, but not the present interest. You have to work forwards and backwards, right? The reason why I think you should try to put that chart together in your sleep from memory is I can give you any one of the 4 boxes and you fill in the other ones, right? You have to go forwards, backwards, left, and right, and you'll have to fill in all those boxes from memory. All right, very good. Thank you, Taylor. All right, let's do question 2. Actually, it's 2A to be precise. O conveys Blackacre. O conveys Blackacre to A and her heirs so long as Blackacre is used for residential purposes only. That's 2A. I guess this one's for Sarah L. next. I think I just bet everybody. All right, Sarah, you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, what's your answer here for number 2A?
Okay. My thing's not working very well.
That's okay. You can just, we're here, we're live. You can just tell me what your answer is.
So I think it is a possibility of reverter.
What does A have? Does A have a present interest or does A have a future interest? Is A have a present interest or a future interest?
A future interest?
Let's read it one step at a time. O conveys Blackacre to A and her heirs. Is that a present interest or a future interest?
Sorry.
One more time? Okay. A has a present interest. So let's go one at a time. If it said O conveys Blackacre to A and her heirs, period, what would A have? There's a period after heirs.
Be simple.
Okay. Is there a period there?
No.
No. What comes after the heirs?
So long as Blackacre is used
Okay.
for
And what does so long as tell you we probably have?
a be simple determinable,
How do you know that?
because the so long as part.
Right. So is this a fee simple absolute?
No.
What does a fee simple determinable mean?
It means that the person who's conveying it has the possibility of reverting because they're retaining.
Don't say that.
Okay.
Don't say has a possibly reverting. Is that what you said?
Their future interest is the possibility of reverting.
Okay. That's correct. I think you said they have the possibility of reverting. Is that what you said? Maybe I misheard you.
I think it is, but the reading for today, it said that that's not possible. So
Don't try to change possibly reverting. Don't make it a verb. It's not a verb. It's a block. Possibly reverter is a set entity. You can't modify that word, right? But there's nothing here that says possibly reverter, so that's not the answer. How do you know this is a fee simple determinable, Sarah?
because it has a comma so long as the premises are used.
And the so long as comes after what?
Comes after the fee simple.
Yes. Okay. I'll come back to you in a second, Sarah. You're not quite done yet, but you so far so good. Okay. To A and their heirs, if you period there, it would be a fee simple, but there's not. To A and their heirs, so long as that says you have a fee simple that has some sort of durational period after it, right? And after that duration ends, it might terminate or determine. This is a fee simple determinable. All right. So that's correct. This is a fee simple determinable. Sarah, I'll ask you 2B, part 2B, that is. What interest does O have in this case?
He has a future interest,
Good.
a possibility of reverter
In
fee simple.
Okay, that's right. How do you know that O has a possibility reverter?
Because it's a fee simple that's determinable on the little thing that you put after the comma.
And when the present interest is a fee simple determinable, what's the future interest?
Possibility of reverter.
And how do you know that?
I don't know. I read it. I don't know in the notes.
Whenever you have a fee simple determinable, will the future interest always be a possibility reverter?
No. Oh, yes. But it's
Which one is it? He said, give me two answers.
yes.
Okay. So are they a pair?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. Okay, thanks, Sarah. You're done. All right. When you have a fee simple determinable, there's a pairing. The future interest will always be a possibility reverter. Okay. All right, so 2A is a fee simple determinable. And then 2B is a possibility reverter. Someone wrote fee simple determinable. I think I know what you meant. Someone put right of entry. That's not correct. All right. Questions number 2. All right. Let's do number 3. And this thing will be from Miranda coming up. Question number 3. O conveys Whiteacre to A for life, comma. Then to B and her heirs if B survives A. What future interest does O have? I am not asking about A, I'm not asking about B, I'm asking about O. But in order to know what O has, you need to know what A and B have. That's why these questions are devious. You can't figure out what O has unless you know what A and B have. You have to go step by step. So what future interest does O have? All right. All right, Miranda, I think you're up. What's your answer here?
I said right of re-entry in fee simple.
All right. Let's go through this one step at a time, Miranda, okay?
Okay.
So it says O conveys Whiteacre to A for life, comma. What does A have?
A has a life estate.
Okay. And A will keep it for however long he lives, right?
Right.
What happens after A dies?
It goes to B and her heirs. Only if B survives A.
So let's just say the first example, B's already dead. B already died. Where does Blackacre or Whiteacre go?
It goes to O.
Okay. Let's say that B is still alive. Where does Blackacre go? I'm saying Blackacre, Whiteacre.
It goes to B or the heirs. And then the heirs.
Okay. So let's start with B then. What is B's future interest here?
B's future interest is it's the remainder
Why is it a remainder?
because it's following a life estate.
And it goes to a,
What?
and it follows a life estate and it goes to a who? What kind of party?
Third party.
Okay. So B has remainder. His interest follows the life estate and he's a third party. Now, this remainder is not certain to happen. right? And we'll cover why it's not certain to happen on Monday. But I'll give you just the preview. This is what we call a contingent remainder, right? That's not what I'm carrying right now, though. So let's just say again, Miranda, that B's already dead. Can B ever get land if he's dead?
No.
And where would the property go if he's dead already?
To A. Sorry. O.
So then what do you call O's interest here?
Reversion.
It's reversion. Why is it reversion?
Because once he'll have the whole bundle of sticks after if B dies.
Yeah. Well, what's our definition of reversion, Miranda? Just finish it up.
Reversion is when it goes back to the grantor.
What's it? Just be a little more precise. What's it?
It's the future interest that follows a live estate.
That goes back.
That goes back to grantor.
Okay, very good. That's right. O as reversion in fee simple. Now, I think a couple of you got this right. That's good. Some of you put remainder. Okay. Remainder is not correct because remainder is when it goes to a third party after a live estate. B as remainder. A couple of you put possibility of reverter. That has to be wrong, right? A possibility reverter only follows a fee simple determinable. There's no fee simple determinable here. In fact, there's no fee simple at all. It follows a life estate, right? There's no fee simple, so there can't be a fee simple subject to condition subsequent, or there can't be a fee simple subject. Fee simple determinable. There's no fee simple at all. Someone put a right of entry. That's wrong. A right of entry only follows a fee simple subject to condition subsequent. So the answer is reversion, right? Reversion, I've told you, is the future interest that follows a life estate and goes back to the grantor. Now, why this is sort of tricky, there's no guarantee O gets it. If O lives at the time of A's death, B gets it. I'm sorry. If B is living at the time of A's death, then B gets it. If B is dead, it goes to O. So it's called a reversion, but you have to recognize it's not certain to happen. So to summarize, A is a life estate. B has a contingent remainder. And I'll explain why it's contingent next class. I don't have time for it today. And then then O has a reversion in fee simple. Everyone with me? Questions? Yeah, so Lacey, go ahead.
Okay, just to be clear, you said it cannot be a fee simple determinable if it follows a life estate.
No. It can't be a fee simple determinable because there's no fee simple here at all.
Okay,
right?
Because there's no fee simple.
No, there's no.
Not because it follows a life
can't
estate.
be. Yeah, no, it can't be a fee simple of any kind, right? Determinable or
Okay.
otherwise. Now,
Okay.
when there's a life estate, that's why it's not a fee simple, right? When you convey a life estate, there's no fee simple there. So your answer is like 80% correct. By the way, I tried watching Doolittle. I turned it off after 5 minutes. It was terrible. I actually tried, and it was so bad. I just couldn't do it. It was just really bad. But I listened to your recommendation.
Can't believe that.
I usually
can't.
I usually like kid movies, and I got so bored. I was like, this is terrible. And I turned it off after 5 minutes. I was like, this is bad. I'm sorry. I take your recommendation. Listen to students, but it didn't work out. Yeah, I think Robert Downey Jr. when he's not Iron Man is not very good. It's just all right. Everyone with question 3. All right. So I need to tweak it a little bit. So far, I've told you that that reversion is a future interest that follows a life estate. I need to tweak that just a little bit. The reversion doesn't always have to follow a life estate. It can also follow another lesser estate. For example, question 4. Look at question 4. O conveys to A for 20 years. What future interest does O have? This will be for Alexandra. All right. Another 5. Oh, wow. You guys are taking your time with this one. All right, you're doing okay. All right. Another 5 seconds and Alexandra's up. All right, Alex, what's your answer here?
I spelled it right this time, and I wrote reversion and fee simple.
Not a reversion, but a reversion?
Yeah, not a reversion and not a determinable either.
In my other class, someone said a fee simple. In my other class, someone wrote a fee simple determinative, which that was a new one. I've not seen that one before. Okay, it's reversion. Why is the answer reversion, Alex?
Because it's a future interest after a lesser estate.
Yeah.
Which will go back to the grantor.
So let's just walk through this one step at a time, Alex. At the beginning, what interest does O have at the beginning?
O has the fee simple.
Full bundle of 6, right? What does he give to A?
He gives the present interest for 20 years.
Yeah, so it's called a term of years. So he gives a stick for the present interest. What does O keep for himself?
The future interest.
The rest of the sticks, right? What happens after 20 years?
It will go back to O.
And O will once again have?
The full bundle of sticks. He'll have the fee simple.
Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Alex.
Mm-hmm.
The definition the book gives for reversion is complicated. It's when someone gives a lesser quantum of his estate to someone else, and then he gets that back in the future. This phrase lesser quantum, it's Greek, right? Whatever does that even mean? Think of it when you have the full bundle of sticks, or maybe something less than a full bundle of sticks, and you give one of your sticks to someone else, and you get it back later. When it goes back, that's called reversion. 99% of the time, reversion is after life estate, which is why I give you this very nice, simple definition. But there might be cases where that's not accurate, where you give someone a term of years. So it's not after life estate, but it terminates naturally, right? There's a set endpoint. Do not confuse, though, this sort of reversion with the fee simple determinable and the fee simple fee simple subject condition subsequent. With those two, you're actually giving someone a fee simple, which they could in theory keep forever if they do stuff, right? You may never get it back. With the reversion, it's a pretty good chance you're gonna get it back. Not always, but pretty good chance. All right. You have to pay very close attention to what the present interest is and the future interest. If the present interest is some type of fee simple, whether it's determinable or subject to condition subsequent, it's not going to be reversion coming back. It might be possibly reverter, it might be right of entry. You can see how you get these confused, right? In some cases, the future interest is reversion, and in some cases, it's possibly reverter. It's so easy to confuse the two. And to know what the future interest is, you need to know what the present interest is. And that's how you have to sometimes work backwards or forwards. All right. Now, I'm just going to go through these. One of you wrote reversion and fee simple determinable. That's not a thing. That's not a thing, right? Reversion, fee simple. But there's no reversion in fee simple determinable. One of you wrote reverter in fee simple. That's not a thing either. It's reversion in fee simple. Actually, 2 of you wrote possibility reverter in fee simple. That's also wrong. A possibility reverter only follows a fee simple determinable. You have to keep in mind what a reversion is, right? Reversion will follow some other lesser state that terminates and goes back to the grantor. A possibility reverter will only follow fee simple determinable. There's no fee simple here at all. All right. Everyone with me? I feel it's like a private tutor. I'm actually enjoying this small section. Wouldn't it be cool if all of your law school classes had like 10 people in that? I mean, just could you imagine just how effective that would be? Like, I would know to a high degree of confidence where all my students are at any point in time. If something's not working, I can, when there's you have 35, which is, I mean, you've been actually spoiled a little bit. Usually the 1L, I mean, spoiled, you're on Zoom, but usually, my 1L sections are 75, 80. I've had 90. I've had 90 in a 1L section. Good luck grading all those midterms over spring break. That ain't gonna happen. You should have 2 sections. I've had as many as 160 students in one semester for 1Ls, which is tricky. But it would be amazing if we had just 11 or 12 students in a 1L section. I mean, at some law schools, like Yale, the one in Connecticut, all 1Ls have a small group section where they have one first year class that's super small. It's like 15 or 20 people, and it's like to really bond. So this is special. Ray, I think Alex had her hand up as well.
Okay, really quickly, I just want to go back to number 4. What did we call the interest that O conveys to A?
I deliberately didn't want to give that to you, but it's called a term of years. We'll do that later this semester. I was deliberately avoiding the issue, but it's called a term of years.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And 20 years means 20 years. You can't renew it. It's after 20 years, it's over. Alex, you have a question?
Oh, it's not super relevant, but we had 20 people last semester, and our section is definitely like really, really tight because of it. So I see what your point there.
Now, how is it you had 20 last semester, but now we have what, at 35? Had that? I don't know how
They
that.
like rearranged us. So
Did they?
C was already the smallest section out of A, B, and C, and then they split us in half. And C2 was the smaller of the 2. And then they added some of C1 into C2, so we kind of like
Oh,
merged.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like it's like they did it by LRW classes this semester. So we have more people this semester than we did last.
Well, I didn't know that. Well, that's anyway. Well, I mean, I know it sucks you're all on Zoom, and eventually I'll meet you in person. But there is a value to having a very small section. I feel it's different in my mind. Anything over 30, between 30 and 60 doesn't make a difference for me. It doesn't make a difference until you get to about 80 or 90. Once you're over 100, I feel like it's a different world. So like between like 0 and 25 or 30, it's small. Like 30 to 90, it doesn't make a difference. And over 90, I'm just lecturing at that point. I can't do, once you get above 100, I can't do sort of this Socratic where I'm like calling on people one at a time. It doesn't work. All right, what else? All right, that's all the questions I want to do today. We'll come to question number, was it 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 next week. Again, if the chart isn't clicking for you, try to fill it in from memory over the weekend. Take 20 minutes. I'd also encourage you to try and take one of my old midterms over the weekend to try and get a sense of how the questions I ask. Take 90 minutes, and that will help you immensely. The midterm I give you on Wednesday may be one of my old midterms, so maybe you'll prepare for it and do really well. It's open book. Bring whatever you want. It won't help you. But if you take one of the exams beforehand, it'll put you in good stead. Nicholas, go ahead.
Are you using the same guidelines that you have on the syllabus, or is it kind of pared down for the shorter time?
I'm not going to do a shorter time because you guys told me you're free at 10:20. So if you start at 10:20 and finish at 11:50, then you can have the full 90 minutes. So I'm going to give you the full midterm, get the full shebang. And I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I haven't decided yet. I'll think about it over the weekend. Or maybe I'll think about it Tuesday, so that way I don't inadvertently slip it. I'm a very bad liar. I don't have a poker face. So one year I had a review session, and a student was like, did you ask? He's like, are you going to ask us this? Are you going to ask us this? I'm like, I don't know. And of course, he figured out I was going to ask an exam, so I don't ever make decisions in advance. All righty. I want to do Marinholtz, which we put off from last class. So some background. The modern rule is that you can convey a fee simple. You can convey a possibility reverter, and you can convey a right of entry, right? You can always convey your present interest. There's never any doubt, right? Even a commonly can convey your present interest. So if you had a fee simple determinable, you could sell it. If you had a fee simple subject to conditional subsequent, you could sell it. But a common law, and apparently in Illinois, you could not convey a possible reverter or right of entry, a common law, right? In Texas and in most states say you can, but Illinois follows this common law rule. As a result of this rule, in Marinholtz, we had all these conveyances conveying a future interest. They're all void, right? It's a weird thing in property where I can sell you something. If I don't have it, you don't have it, right? If I'm not able to convey a future interest, then the transaction's meaningless. Nothing's actually conveyed. It's basically a nullity. So really, the Marinholtz case begins through inheritance. You had the Huttons, and they reserved a future interest in this property, right? They reserved a future interest in this property. They tried to sell it, but those transactions were void. So then we fast forward to 1969. Jenny Hutton dies, and her son, Harry, inherits that future interest. All right. So everything came before that's irrelevant. All right. So let's look at the language in the deed. Okay. And I will just call it school acre to make it easier. Everything is black acre, white acre, green acre, school acre, right? I'll call it school acre. Make my life easier. The deed stated that school acre was to be used for school purposes only, semicolon. Otherwise, to revert to grantors herein, who are the Huttons. Now, I think this conveyance can be read in one of two ways. It can be read, number one, as a fee simple determinable, followed by a possibility reverter. Or second, it can be read as a fee simple subject to condition subsequent, followed by a right of entry. Now, it doesn't neatly fit into either category, right? It doesn't neatly fit into either category. This was drafted probably by non-lawyers. And they use language that is a little bit unclear, right? We don't know what the Huttons' intent was when they put together this conveyance. So I think, Quinny, you're next? No, hold on. Alexandra, Rachel, here? No. Jeanette? No. Sebastian? No. Sydney? No. Oh, Luis. Luis is here.
Yes.
Okay.
I was going to say something, but I was like, you started reading the names, and I was like, I'll just let it.
Oh, let me have my fun. That way all the people watching YouTube can know they passed over, which is why I'm doing it. I'll try. I'll see how this works on Wednesday or Monday to try and call people who are, you know what? How about this? For the 13 of you lovely souls here, if I call on you on Monday, just say you called me already. I'll just move on to the next person, and then you've paid your dues. So if you just remind me on Monday, say, okay, you're Luis, you recited. Okay, calling you next time. I'll pass you. Then poor Lance, like, wait a minute, I'm next. You know. So Luis, let's look at this conveyance, right? Let's look at the stuff before the semicolon, right? The land is to be used for school purposes only. Is there any durational language there?
Not really.
Nope. Is there any conditional language there?
No.
What is this language only? Have you seen something like this before?
Previous to this case, no. That's why it was so difficult for the court to kind of decide what it was.
Yeah. Okay. So
ambiguous.
Now let's go after the semicolon, right? It says, otherwise to revert to the grantors, the Huttons. What does that look like?
Well, it has the word revert in it.
Yeah.
I know it's not a thing we're going to do, so that could give people some issues, but it says to the grantors, so it might give you a hint of like a reversion because it would go back to the grantor.
Could it also be a right of entry to the grantors?
Only if they find that the conveyance was a fee simple subsequent to condition.
No, say it again. You slipped it up. A fee simple. You said subject to.
Subject to condition subsequent.
That's it. Fee simple subject to condition subsequent.
That would be the only way if it would be a right of re-entry as a future interest because they're paired.
So the language here isn't really clear, is it?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Luis. So why does it make a difference? Okay. So Luis is not here. Luis here. Lance? No. Susan? No. Grayson? No. Quinny?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're here. I can actually see all in one grid. It's actually very pleasant for Zoom. Quinny, why does it matter in this case whether there was a fee simple determinable or a fee simple subject to condition subsequent? Why does it matter which one we have?
Because with fee simple determinable, it's once the condition is breached, it automatically would go back to the grantor.
Good.
But with fee simple subject to condition subsequent, it's not automatic. So that means they would have to go to court and try to get it back if they wanted to get it back for reentry.
All right, Quinny, so let's break this down here, right? So we know in 1973, the school converted the building to a storage facility, right? And let's just assume storage is not a school purpose. Now, it turns out apparently it is, right? Go figure. But let's just assume for a minute that the condition that, I don't want to say condition because we don't know if it was a condition, but let's say that the terms of the deed were violated. Mm-hmm. Harry at that point had a future interest in 1973. What would happen if he had a fee simple determinable in 1973? What would happen to his future interest?
He would get the school back.
In?
Fee simple.
Okay, why isn't it fee simple?
Because he would have the whole bundle of sticks because he had the present and the future interest.
Okay, good. I'll come back to you in a second, Quinny. That's right. If Harry had a right of entry, let's say it correctly. See, I get them confused also. If Harry had a possibility reverter in 1973, if Harry had the possibility reverter, it automatically terminates the present interest. As soon as the school puts up a storage closet and uses it for storage, his possibility reverter becomes fee simple, right? The present interest, the stick owned by the school, goes back to Harry. Harry has a full bundle of sticks. Harry has a fee simple. Now, Harry may need to go to court to evict the school and seek what's called quiet title, seeking a court to say who owns what. But he would have a fee simple as of 1973. And then, Quinny, a follow-up question: would Harry be able to sell his fee simple to the Marinholtzes in 1977?
So this is after he would have everything connected at fee simple?
Yes.
So yes.
Okay. Can you sell a fee simple in inter vivos? An easy question, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thanks, Quinny. All right. So if it was a fee simple determinable, then the future interest would go to Harry. As soon as the school violated the terms of the deed, he would have a fee simple. And then in 1977, he can give the Marinholtzes a fee simple, in which case they own the property outright. Rhea, are you here? No. Ray, are you here?
Yep.
Oh, and my last question. Oh, actually, no, poor Nicholas. I'll get a question from him. Don't worry. So, Ray, let me ask you a question here. What if the present interest was a fee simple subject to condition subsequent? What interest would would Harry have?
He would have the right of re-entry or entry.
Okay, good. The right of entry. Let's say he had a right of entry, and in 1973 they make it a storage closet. What could Harry have done at that point?
He could have taken legal action, right? And then
could have sued.
What's the right word? Reclaimed or
yeah, you take legal action to claim the property, right? Did he ever actually do that?
No, he gave it up.
Well, before he gave, but did he ever actually do anything? Did he ever actually try to sue the school district?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so he continued to have the future interest, the right of entry, right? In 1977, when he sold his future interest to the Marinholtzes, could he do that? Could he sell a future interest in 1977?
He could if it wasn't being used for the proper purpose.
Wrong. If it's a fee simple subject to condition subsequent followed by a right of entry, could he sell his right of entry?
No,
Why not?
because it's subject to that condition.
Wrong. In Illinois, can you sell a right of entry?
No.
Why not?
In Illinois, I'm not sure.
Which rule did Illinois apply? The modern rule or the common law rule?
I believe they went with the modern rule.
No, that's wrong. I said a few minutes ago. Nicholas? Oh, I didn't go down the list. Linda? No. Alexander? No. Nicholas?
Yeah, I'm definitely next.
I know you are. All right. Nicholas, why did the what in Illinois, which rule did they follow? The modern rule or the common law rule?
I believe it was the common law rule.
Good. And under the common law rule, could Harry sell a right of entry?
No.
No, okay. So would he have actually conveyed anything to the Marinholtzes in 1977?
No.
And then we find out that Harry released his claims. He basically said to school, I'm never going to sue you for my right of entry. Could he do that?
I mean, yeah.
You can.
I think so.
If you have a right of entry, you can basically say, I am never going to exercise it. He effectively gave his stick to the school. Well, what would the school have at that point? What interest would the school have at that point? They had the present interest. Harry gave him his future interest. What would the school have?
Fee simple.
He had a fee simple. So you see why this matters. If the 1941 deed conveyed a fee simple determinable, then the Marinholtzes have fee simple. If the 1941 deed conveyed a fee simple subject to condition subsequent, the school would have a fee simple. So it really matters. So Nicholas, just finish it up. We have about a minute left. What did the court hold here?
The court held that.
How did they read the deed?
Gosh. I'm gonna kill all the momentum right here at the end.
You are. What's the holding of this case? Ray, go for it.
Although redemption, deed created a fee simple determinable in the trustees, followed by the possibility of reverter.
Okay, excellent.
Not in their heirs.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ray. Redeemed, as they say, right? Very good. The court said this phrase only seems to be durational. I don't know, but I guess it is. And the court said it seems to be an automatic transfer. That is, as soon as the terms are violated, it goes back to O, which is consistent with a possibility reverter. Also, the word revert sounds kind of like reverter. I don't know if the court got this one right. Usually the courts presume, if there's any doubt, that you have a fee simple subject to condition subsequent. Why? It's less violent, right? There's still some give and take. But the court went the other direction. I think it's probably wrong, but I can see it. I think it's plausible. Yes, Lacey, go ahead.
Why is it that Harry could give his right of reentry to the school, but couldn't give it to the Marinholtzes?
He didn't give it. He said he was never going to exercise it.
So couldn't he have just done the same thing with the Marinholtzes?
Well,
I guess the whole point was they had to determine if it belonged to them.
That wouldn't have helped the Marinholtzes. They wanted the property, right?
Okay.
Harry basically said, I am never going to exercise my right of entry, which basically gives a fee simple to the school.
Is that legal? If he came back 20 years from now and was like, never mind.
There's usually a statute of limitations, and I don't know what it is in Illinois, but he's basically saying, I'm not going to do it. Now, the harder question is what happens if Harry dropped dead in his heir and decided to go sue the school, right? Which is actually, this is in the teacher's manual. This is crazy. Harry wasn't actually Jenny's son. He was her stepson who did not inherit as a blood heir. I think Harry was a son of the father, but not the mom. That was my sense, right? So, in fact, Harry's release wouldn't even work because it wasn't his to release. And Harry's selling the interest in Marienholtz's work because it wasn't his interest. So there was some other relative somewhere else who actually had the future interest. This case is insane. It went on for like a decade. But we'll stop here. All right. So the holding of this case, I think it's a good case to teach with, is that the court found that the conveyance was a fee simple determinable, followed by possibly reverter. The possibly reverter would be triggered in 1973, and then he could have sold the interest in the Marienholtzes. But as things turned out, the court later held that storage was school purposes, so the condition was never violated, and we're stuck with school being owned by the district. All right. I am out of time. I will give you all the minute poll now. Questions, things in your mind. All right. By the way, Dana, Nezrine, Elizabeth. Oh, you're not here. Okay. Just want to make sure we're down the entire roll. All right, Luis, go ahead.
Yes, so I just kind of as far as like for purposes for exam and stuff, like applying this rule to a scenario you give, could you just say that the court basically said this conveyance was so ambiguous that in default we're gonna do this?
Don't say default. I mean, well, usually the default rule is the opposite. Usually the default rule is if you're not sure, you lean in the direction of fee simple subject to condition subsequent. That's the usual presumption.
So they went like
the opposite. Yeah.
Okay, so this case is like the what view is it? Not the
minority.
Yeah, the minority. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. This. I think this case is probably wrong. I think the trial court probably had it better, but I don't know.
Okay, so when we're stating it, mention this case is a minority view. That okay.
I think that's a fair statement. Yes, Andy, go ahead.
I just had a general question. So a fee simple determinable and then a fee simple subject to condition subsequent, they both can be conveyed to someone else, but that third party that it's being conveyed to would still be not liable, but would still have to follow that durational or that conditional language. Does that make sense?
Right. So if I give Andy a fee simple subject to condition subsequent, and then Andy gives that fee simple to Quinny, she would have to follow the condition just the same. That's right.
Okay.
In other words, you don't, Andy, you can't eliminate the restrictions by selling it to Quinny. That doesn't work.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just,
You're stuck with it. You're stuck with it.
Okay, gotcha.
Cool. All right, everyone. Any other questions? All right, I will see you then on Monday at 10:30 for you guys, or 10:30. Have a wonderful weekend. Try to fill in the chart if you can over the weekend by memory, and try and look at an old exam if you're able to. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye.